3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Already off the bat, joke of the episode. Son of a bitch.
Welcome, everyone. You are listening to a special bonus episode of the Confused Breakfast Podcast. Welcome. In case you've never heard of us before, we review, the classic movies of the 80s, 90s, early 2000s with a modern eye.
Yeah.
We tell a lot of funny jokes. We relate to the goons of the story sometimes. That's what we like to do.
You bet.
But you're here because we're doing something a little out of character. We are going to review a new movie, The Batman, which just came out, which we're not going to do that for every movie, but some of these movies are so important to our nostalgia.
Yep.
Like we just did a review of the 1989 Batman, which it feels so right to also talk about this new Batman. So we went out as a group.
Yeah.
Date night.
First time.
Friends.
Confused Breakfast date night.
We're friends.
We are actually friends in real life,
We
you guys.
do
Turns out.
things together.
Every now and again.
And last week we went and saw The Batman at Marcus Theaters.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about it because we're assuming you've seen it. We're assuming most of the world has seen it because with a $200 million budget, they have already made just under $500 million.
I think they did all right, huh?
They're
bad.
hoping for better, but it's still early in the process, I think. So we're assuming that unless every person that has seen it 14 times in a row, probably like Shaun, we're assuming most of you have seen it by now.
At least once. If you read the title and then you clicked I wonder if they're going to spoil anything. Spoilers!
Spoilers!
Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Bruce Willis was dead the whole time in The
Oh.
Sixth Sense. Actually, that should be our thing. Instead of saying spoilers for the movie we're actually talking about, we should spoil another movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers! Tyler Durden's his imagination.
Oh, no. They never say his actual name.
The rat was Mr. Orange.
Splinter's their father, but not real.
What?
Not biological. Anyway, so
And we are technically late to this, by the way. There's
Yeah,
7
no kidding.
I know.
No kidding.
In fact, either you just finally saw The Batman, you're like, I hope one of my favorite podcasts talks about it, or you're just really hoping that someone's going to align on your views on The Batman, and you're waiting for it. You're waiting for somebody to talk major shit about it because you hated it.
Yeah.
Well, you might get lucky today. So again, spoilers. We're going to have some true conversations about this movie. We're going to spoil the shit out of it.
You bet.
So if you haven't watched it and you plan on it, you're in the wrong place.
There you go.
Sorry.
So what did you think about this movie, Shaun?
Going in, I watched maybe the trailer twice, and I'm already sold on Robert Pattinson being one of our greatest talents as an actor in recent years, going off of Good Time and The Lighthouse and everything like that. He's proved himself to be not just Robert Duillo, whatever the fuck it is from
Twilight.
Twilight. What
Yeah.
is his name?
Doesn't matter.
It's not
Beelzebub.
important. Yeah.
Beelzebub.
He's obviously the whole conversation was is he gonna be a good Batman? Is
he the right choice?
Yeah, is it gonna be a dark version or is it not? And watching the movie, literally the first 10 minutes or so, I'm like, I fucking love this so much. I guess I'll just say that I loved it. I think Robert Pattinson is probably my number 2 Batman as far as we have
Who's
now.
your number one?
And who's your number one?
Keaton.
Okay, you're on the Keaton side.
Yeah.
I don't think I can fully rank this movie or fully rank his Batman yet. I think people are doing it a little too early
Sure.
to say, oh, this is the best Batman movie. Yeah, this is the best. He's the best. But I have heard they have signed on for it's a full trilogy is what I'm understanding.
Oh, wow.
Is what I'm understanding. I may be wrong, but I know there's so much information going around. But
Yeah.
I think by the end of this, we may be able to say this. We may
Sure.
be able to say, because it's remember when you saw Batman Begins, you're like, this is really good.
Yeah.
But then as a whole, that whole trilogy is just ugh.
It's its own piece. It's
Exactly.
you have this to go off of Batman now.
And I think that might end up being what this is. I think we might look upon Robert Pattinson as that and this Batman as that. But I want to tell you, I knew nothing about this. I didn't watch any fucking trailers.
Wow.
I forgot that it was even Pattinson. I went nothing. I just went in like, and sometimes that's my favorite way to watch movies. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Here we go. I've never heard of Venom before. I never read the comic books, and I went to that movie not knowing anything about it, and I was like, that was really fun. I'm learning as we go, but as this movie starts, I'm like, holy shit, this is like the Gotham I wanted. My entire life. This is the darkness of Gotham. This is like. I saw a meme. Did you share that meme? The one that goes, it starts counting down the Batmans and it just goes from light to just black. It's just rainy and dark. And that is like there's no steam, like no hot dogs cooking on the place or anything like that. So the cheesiness was gone.
Dude, nothing for Eckhart out there.
No Eckhart in here. No. Like it was dark, like evil, ominous, this whole movie. It was so awesome. It was not what I expected at all.
Yeah. Is it me?
Say something.
Okay.
You fucking better say something.
So I don't know, guys. You might disagree with me on something I'm about to say.
Okay.
That's fine though. This is maybe one of the most exciting renditions of Batman we have ever gotten, and if not the most exciting. Batman has always been referred to as the greatest detective in the world. That's what he has always been referred to. And we have now been pitched a noir-style Batman who is, in fact, a detective, narrating some things to you, telling you about the nitty and gritty and the cesspool of the city that he lives in and is trying to correct. And we've never seen that before.
No.
It's never in this light, no pun intended, okay? But that right there, and Robert Pattinson is now in the running for my favorite Batman, 100%. Maybe not so much yet for my favorite Bruce Wayne. I think in the next series we're going to see a little bit more present Bruce Wayne with a little bit more slick back hair. You know what I mean?
You think this is slick back? It's pushback.
This pushback. He's going to have a lot more pomade going on.
I'm a rain plus pomade.
If we're talking about like casting and stuff, I mean, casting all over the place was really wonderful. The set was brilliant. This is a very gritty Gotham. It's like it's like a city they've tried to build like 5 times,
right?
And they haven't been able to accomplish it, right? Yeah. And I think that's absolutely brilliant because every single time the crime wins and snuffs out the light of hope.
Society.
Yes, exactly. And for me, that's why this became. There was not a moment. One of the biggest complaints that I've been hearing is, it's pretty long. And
it was.
That being said, there wasn't a moment that I thought was necessarily wasted.
Yeah,
that's very true.
In me watching just watching it one time. Now, if I go back and see it again, maybe we'll see.
There was only one good run P time, which you guys have just learned about.
Yeah.
I cannot believe you guys don't fucking know about that.
Yeah, we have to plug it because it's
we
important.
will.
Am I the only one that there's an app called Run P Time.
Run P Time.
That you type it in and you type in what movie you're going to, and it tells you the best times to go pee.
Yeah.
And then it tells you like here's when you should get up.
Yeah.
And you can even set a little reminder so it'll buzz in your pocket. And then when you get up and while you're pissing at the urinal, you're reading what's happening while you're in the bathroom. What the fuck? But there was only one. A lot of movies have a lot of them. There was only one where they're like, this is probably the only part you can go.
Wow.
Which says something for a 3-hour fucking movie.
No
I was sitting there
kidding.
watching this movie, and I saw these two get up. I'm where the fuck are they going?
I go, AJ, if I get up, you got to get up too.
I'm like, you failed to mention this to me?
I'm so sorry.
You were with your
You were all the way
girlfriend.
to the end.
Come on, man.
Sorry. I'm so
You were with
sorry.
your girlfriend.
You were on the end.
Are they leaving me?
Are they walking out?
You got to understand, like theater seating, okay? Like, we're the confused breakfast, so you got to sit
No,
next
I
to him,
get it.
and then she sits
No.
on the other side. That's the way it goes,
No,
okay?
I get it.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying, next time. So, on that note, did you actually, there's been this thing apparently that was floating around that somebody made a recommendation that the best time to go to the bathroom in the movie, I don't know if it was a TikTok or what it was when you see the Batmobile fire up, that is the best time to go to the bathroom.
What?
Oh no!
That son of a
People
bitch.
bought it, and people were going to the bathroom during the Batmobile scene.
The best scene in the
Okay.
movie.
So we'll go out of order here on this thing. I made a TikTok because we did 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
And I went out on a fucking huge limb and I was like, best Batmobile in the history of the world is the one from Michael Keaton, and you could not tell me wrong.
And you were right with the ignorance
And
that you had.
I was correct. And then 2 days later, I
That
went to
limb
this movie and I
snapped.
went, what the? Oh, my world was shit. That was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely, dude.
This whole movie, it's the most believable Batman to me.
Yeah.
Like, none of this felt out of place. None of it felt like the gadgets were like, whoa, that wouldn't be a gadget.
Yeah.
Like, everything felt like it was real and that it could actually happen.
Things felt like on the cusp of. So you have like the Dark Knight series, right? Which was, to this point, probably the most tangible.
Hell yeah.
As it goes, of that felt very real. But this felt like it was borderline on the cusp of Data from the Goonies.
Yeah.
In a good way. In a good way.
In a non-failure way.
Correct. I mean, when he's up on that tower and he's going to make his escape from the police after the police station or whatever, he's up on that building and he pulls those strings. I was like, Data.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Well, then you've
Pitches a pal.
Yeah.
you've seen people do that. You've seen like the whatever they call them,
The
those
wing
suits.
suits.
Yeah, those
Right.
wing suits.
The
You've seen those
Squirrel
happen.
suit was a
It
thing, yeah.
wasn't like some bat wings that came
No,
out
like,
and he was
it was a
flying.
real thing that
it was
people
just,
do.
Yeah, he was just doing a practical like
Yeah.
base jump, pretty much.
Yeah.
What was that the best scene of the movie? The Batmobile chase and the Penguin and
Absolutely.
I mean,
think it
wow.
was certainly up there as trying to compare all the scenes and I
the
suppose,
best
yeah.
action scene
Yeah.
of the movie. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
incredible.
Think about not seeing that. Think about that.
Think about believing what you see on TikTok.
Well,
you can't believe everything you see on the internet.
the sound that it made
Oh.
at first, it was like I was so engrossed in just like how they just they made the sound prominent before you saw the vehicle and you saw
Yeah.
like the jet
was just
engine in the
going
back, and it was just so ominous. And that's what I liked about, I guess, going back a little bit, is like the whole introduction to Batman was so, like you said, 1960s 70s noir.
Yeah.
Where you hear him walking, but
Yes,
you can't see him.
you
yet.
hear him walking first, but I
It's
love
brilliant.
I love like you see certain crimes being committed around the city, like somebody spray painting something, and then like the spray can goes into like a dark shadow, and
he's not going to
he
chase
sees
it.
he sees the bat signal, but he's like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
he could be in there."
and they keep looking into the shadows.
And that was so fucking cool because it made him scary.
Mhm.
This is the
Fear
first.
is a tool.
This is the first Batman movie where I felt scared of Batman
Yeah.
and scared for Batman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of the entire series. I'm like, I don't know how to feel, because I'm like, he's beating the shit out of people and he's being like vengeance.
Pretty
He's
brutal.
being vengeance. Like, people call him vengeance more than they do call him Batman in this movie.
It's true.
But I also was like, you're going overboard,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and I don't know much about the Batman story, but of course, after I saw it, I'm like, I got to figure this out. So this is set very early on. Like, this is what,
Yeah.
like year 2 of him
Yeah.
being a Batman,
Right.
which makes so much sense now, because he's not this playboy Bruce Wayne. He's super young. He's just very into his work, and he doesn't know who he is yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's such a cool. We've never really seen that Batman on the screen. We've always had party boy Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
and, like,
Very-
he's fighting the guys, and I
Even-
have all my gadgets put together. And
Yeah. Even the reclusive Bruce Waynes we've seen in the past, like I consider Michael Keaton a reclusive Bruce Wayne, if you listen to our other review on that. But he's still a part of the community.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
still
Still
a
throws parties
pillar,
and-
you
yeah.
know. He's got the party going on, opening cases of champagne and whatever. But this is absolutely a Bruce Wayne that is 100% a recluse, not a part of the community necessarily, as it's stated in the movie and several different points.
Yeah, every time he goes out, people are like, "Holy shit, it's Bruce Wayne!"
Correct. It's
You know?
actually a surprise to see him.
Yeah.
Not a photo shoot. It's like, oh my God, that's he's
at
we're,
this
we're
funeral.
seeing him.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
Speaking of the realisticness of this movie, our friends at Salty Nerd Podcast, I listened to
Oh,
their
yes.
review of this, and they just hit it on the nail for me, because this is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I always had a problem with the Batman, how he would have the black eye makeup.
Yes.
And how then he would just pull his mask off and there's no black eye. Like, how did he have time to put that on? And then how did he have time to get that off?
Yeah.
Where this one, Pattinson's like still got it on.
Yeah.
And it's like sweat has dripped it down his face. It is just perfect.
Yeah.
How they just let that be.
Yeah.
The sad emo Robert Pattinson Batman.
How is this
looks-
the first Batman to like actually have that in the forefront?
I don't know.
Have that as a weird detail.
Right.
You know? Like they had the detail in the Dark Knight of Heath Ledger's Joker having the face paint on his fingers.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have the detail of the other guy who wears makeup on
At
his
some
face?
point he's gonna be like, hold on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, there.
He's in the bathroom of the club beforehand. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on. He needs a mirror to do this
Yeah.
at least.
And you got to, if you tried to put blackout eye makeup, you got to do the thing the girls do on the
right.
tips of their eyes.
Yeah.
Or
The pencil
the
thingy?
pencil thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to do the pencil thingy.
Yep.
That takes a long time, or
Oh,
else
yeah.
you're going to see the little marks.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Can't do that.
He is. You're right. In this movie, he's like a like one step away from being in a YouTube video saying to leave Britney alone. But at the same time, it's still very believable because he's got to take that mask on and off.
Yeah.
That cowl.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cowl, the one thing that I loved about his mask, right? I don't know if this is an actual nod or not, but what I recognized. Yes. Thank you. They were a little bit more protruded.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Turns out he has innies, not outies.
It's cold
I don't-
out there. It's raining all the time. You're gonna
You got to have a
protrude.
space for it.
Yeah. You hear it go.
They
"Toop."
go-
It pops out. He's got pulleys for it, like his squirrel suit. Just
My camera.
camera. But no, fuck you guys.
Give me my joke back.
I think that's worth
All right,
it.
thanks, man.
That's good. That was a group joke. I like it all.
It was.
But no, like on his mask, I kept thinking about it. I was like, he's got this like square thing on his nose, and if you look at Adam West, like the original, he's
Oh,
got
you're
a
right.
square nose.
Nobody did that since him. Did
Nobody's
they?
done that since him. And I was like, is that a nod? I can't tell, but maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the patchwork idea of it. I don't know.
I liked his. It seemed practical. It seemed like all leather. You know.
Yeah.
It seemed like he made it, or like him and Alfred came up with it. You know.
Right.
It was really cool. Talking about Pattinson's introduction as the Batman, I have to give praise to the Riddler's introduction being one of the creepiest introductions to a villain that I've ever seen, and one of the most smartest. It was just when he's in the mayor's apartment, and the glow of the TV is lighting everything, and the mayor walks away, and the glow of the TV reveals the Riddler, and he's just staring at him, and he's just there with the glasses and the glare and everything.
Yeah.
It's so creepy and so cool. I love Paul Dano as an actor in general and a director. He's a really good director.
Absolutely.
But him to take this role on as just this, like, he's brilliant. He's very maniacal and brilliant, but he's like, while he does his murders, he's very messy, you know. And he had like a detail that I heard that he wanted to like wrap his whole body in saran wrap. To like just be like kind of like a amateur killer. He's like, I don't know what to do, just like not leave any DNA behind.
Okay.
And when I watched it the second time, and I heard that interview or whatever, I watched it the second time. You can see his head is wrapped in saran wrap. I didn't notice that the first time. Like, oh, that's really fun. Like he has an interview where he's like, yeah, I tried the whole body, and like if you try and sweat, it doesn't work. And so he had to take it like hold it back a little bit. Yeah. But I like the detail. It left the detail of his head in there with the mask on, and just the glasses are fucking creepy.
I didn't know it was Paul Dano because, again, I didn't watch anything.
Look,
so I didn't know when they finally showed him, like, oh, my God. I couldn't tell by his voice. I couldn't tell by his mannerisms. But, I mean, he's such an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Also,
really
huge penis because of
Girl
Next
Girl
Door.
Next Door.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
you got to know that.
You gotta love it.
You got to love that from Paul Dano.
Ain't no riddle there.
Hey! Here you go.
All right, cool.
There it is. That looks more like an exclamation mark to me.
Okay.
Hey!
The joke bell. We are amateur comedians, that is for sure.
Like Paul Dano, since we're on the topic, and I'm going to say some things that you're probably going to disagree with, even in this room. Paul Dano just gave us the equivalent of a Batman on-screen villain to Heath Ledger's Joker, and I'm going to stand on that hill at least for a little while.
For now,
yeah, for now.
Yeah.
I really do believe it. I think there were incredible moments of him, the videos that he made. There are some major matches and even points of appreciation that he had for Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
In taking on this role to make it something more maniacal than just like the guy in green tights and a bowler hat.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and Jim Carrey had his place.
I mean, that was a great. I will go down to say that was.
That was the comic books.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's a great performance that he did, and he's perfect for that type of Riddler.
Absolutely.
I just like that these modern day Batmans are taking us away from that.
Yeah.
Though, because we just need a new take on this. We need a modern day scary version of these villains so that it can create this could easily be a real person.
Yeah.
Completely and totally in the world we live in today, that's someone.
Yep.
Like trying to do that kind of evil.
And
I believe it.
That's what takes it to make you scared of this person anymore. You're not going to be scared if he showed up in tights. Or if he showed up with question marks,
get scared.
like, green tight stuff and a jacket and stuff. That's not what you're going to be scared of. You're going to be scared of a person who feels like a terrorist in this.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This modern day, like,
You're not safe.
Yeah, like, that's not okay.
You don't know where he's gonna be, but then you at the same time do, because he's giving you fucking clues as to exactly where he's gonna be and exactly who he's gonna kill. You just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I thought that it just makes so much sense. Like when you say he's the greatest detective in the world, Batman is, and he was born off of Detective Comics, and no one's ever really explored that except in the comics. And this is the first movie to do that, and the Riddler is a perfect choice for a villain because it's like you have to figure out a puzzle, you have to figure out a little wordplay,
Yeah.
His portrayal, Matt Reeves' director, was based completely off of like the Zodiac killer. Like there's a certain look that he had. He had like a hood on, and like he had like an outfit for one of his killings that he did.
Yeah.
And if you watch the movie Zodiac, it's pretty clear. And if you also watch the movie Seven, completely kind of taking from Seven, David Fincher's kind of like gritty. It's always raining detective.
I thought of Seven right away
It's
when this movie started. I'm like,
perfect
holy
for
shit.
this.
This movie's like the best I could think of. The way to describe it was Batman meets Seven meets Saw meets Halloween.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, Shaun? I looked over at you during the movie. I was like, did Shaun just realize what I realized? There's a scene that is identical. It had to be a nod to the original Halloween, to John Carpenter's 1979 Halloween. Do you know what's 78? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think
Dude,
I do.
My God, it's like note for note when the guy gets in his car, he tries to leave the club and he gets in his car.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same scene where he gets in his car and he realizes that it's fogged.
You're totally right.
And he goes, why is it fogged? And the killer comes up from behind him, kills him, and then his head hits the steering wheel and makes the horn go off.
Wow.
It's like I just got chills when I saw it going, that he literally just nodded to Halloween.
That's cool.
And Michael Myers.
I never noticed that.
The
That's
exact scene for scene, note for note.
It's so cool.
It was amazing.
I didn't think about that. That's
and the
really
Halloween
cool.
touch at the beginning was like, oh, it's Halloween.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
it's Halloween in Gotham.
Well, and then, this is
That's
based off
true.
of several comics. Like I think there's like a year.
It's called like the Long Halloween.
The
or
Long
something
Halloween,
like that.
and then there's like year one.
Year
Batman
one Batman
or something, or like year two or something like that. There's a lot of like storylines from those comics intertwined into this movie,
Right.
which is really cool. But the cast in general is like even just that guy who was like the DA.
Yeah.
Is Skarsgård, Peter Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's a prominent actor. Like he's a great actor, and like
District Attorney Gil Colson.
he can hold his own in any movie, and he's just playing this kind of bit part. It's just like there's so many fucking great actors.
Let's go through.
in this.
I mean, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Just not only is she just gorgeous and just so like you can't take her eyes off her, but I thought she was fantastic as an actor. I loved the take on the Catwoman, like you know, like kind of a unique take on that.
I hear a lot of complaints about like her mask.
I was like, who cares?
I don't care. I think
it's early on and everything, right? Like we're all getting there. You know, she's not officially Catwoman yet.
I didn't think about it once.
No, I didn't either.
No, I didn't either. Then there was a couple points where you even kind of see like the ears a little bit off the mask. I thought it was a fine rendition of it.
Yeah, just the little kitty ears.
Just a little like that. It's probably just like the hat, like you know how they have the form of it. You know,
yeah, exactly.
She bought that at Hot Topic.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. She cut it out just like
Rocco
did
in Boondock Saints. It's fucking scary, man.
Fucking
so
scary, man.
Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon.
Yeah.
Are you into it? At first, I didn't think I was, because I was like, "Oh, cool, you're just the dude from Westworld." Like, he has like no emotion at all in every role that he's in.
Yeah.
But yet, I grew into it as it went on. I loved that weird relationship they had.
It's not just a Batman detective movie. It's him and Gordon. It's like a team. It's like Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman and
very much, dude.
Like
very
literally,
much.
it's really fun to watch a Batman character do this with James Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright, James Gordon's lieutenant. James Gordon. James.
It's really cool to see these characters be detectives, and I like how he needs him. I like how Gordon kind of is like, I trust this guy, man. Like, I'm sorry.
What was that scene where he's like, okay, you're going to punch me in the face.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave. And afterward he goes, I told you to hold back. He goes, I was.
Yeah, I did.
You could have pulled the punch. I did.
That was so good.
It was wonderful. I love Jeffrey Wright in this role. I think he's actually phenomenal.
It was a great choice.
And he does have this kind of, you know, Jim Gordon always had this uncertainty to him, he was certain in certain situations, but with Batman, there's always some uncertainty. You know, when he's coming around and who he is and what's going on and stuff. And I thought he played it very, very well. Mm-hmm. He's certain when it comes to the police. Yeah. He's a little uncertain when he comes to Batman.
Yeah, I like the aspect that cops and like the law is not trustworthy of Batman because it's so early still, you know, like they don't trust him. They think he's a vigilante and
rats.
And it's just kind of doing illegal things to solve crimes, I guess. But we talked about the best scene. We have to talk about Penguin.
So again, I knew nothing about this movie.
Okay, I want to know your perspective.
Nothing about this movie. Even when the movie was over, I started reading some stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Colin Farrell was in this movie. Well, who was he? Colin Farrell was the Penguin.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
First of all, you could. I just don't know how it was Colin Farrell. I don't understand it, but I love it. I love the fact that he said, "Yeah, I want to be the Penguin, and I don't want anyone to fucking know who I even heard a story that apparently he went out in his makeup just to see if anyone knew who he was, and no one fucking knew.
No one recognized a damn thing.
It's amazing.
He was perfect.
So good.
I don't know if anybody could have done that.
Unrecognizable. Like I knew it was Colin Farrell, but then I was like, wait, is it Colin Firth or Colin Farrell? Like I was like, why did I think that? And then watching him, I'm like, there's no distinctive trait that would be Colin Farrell except his voice, maybe like once or twice, and that's it.
I feel like if I go back and watch it, I might be able to pick up on it. But
insane. Like this is a performance of a lifetime, really. Like it's
and
just,
I'm assuming he's going to be like a major point of the second and third one.
HBO Max.
He's going to have to be.
There's an HBO Max series coming out with him as Penguin.
Oh wow!
That Matt Reeves is also involved with.
More shit we got to make time for to watch. God damn it!
But it is incredible. Like this is how you play. This is what like prosthetics and like makeup can do to an actor. Like once I heard an interview where he's like. Once he saw the facade that they made for him and everything, he's like, I got it. Mm-hmm. And like he sent Matt Reeves like videos and stuff. He's like, I'm just letting you do you thing.
He said, "You're good. We trust you."
It is insane. Yeah. That's such a good performance.
Well, and this is what you want from somebody like Penguin. Penguin. Sorry guys to burst the bubble, but Penguin didn't grow up in the sewers of of Gotham.
He's a gangster,
and with the circus. Okay, he's a gangster.
What?
He's literally a gangster, like underboss.
Yeah,
you know, at this point. and he becomes like a higher up as
he's on his way up now.
Correct. Like Falcone, like Maroni, these are kingpins in this world, and you don't see a lot of them in comic books necessarily, or I guess like the comic book, because Penguin has kind of taken over these places, and same with like you have Joker and whatnot, and that's the thing. There's two people in Batman's world that are real problems for him. And one is Bane, and one is the Joker. Or I'm sorry, not the Joker, but is the Riddler.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important that he was such the main bad guy in this, in my opinion. Because there's only two people that ever found out who Batman's identity was. And that was the Riddler and Bane after he broke his back.
Yeah.
And the Riddler found it out, and like that's what he had over Batman, Bruce Wayne.
And he still has it.
And he still has it.
Yep.
You know, and what I thought was interesting, kind of near the end of it, is did he actually know that it was Bruce Wayne, or did he think, was he upset that Bruce Wayne was the only one who got away from him, technically, in this movie?
Oh, okay.
That was the only thing that I was like kind of left a little uncertain, and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
It's not saying they're going to figure that out or resolve that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, maybe he does know.
You think so?
Maybe he does know, but he's trying to make it seem like he doesn't by like being kind of, sarcastic about it in the end, where he's like, maybe like, because he does like hint towards like just proclaiming Bruce Wayne and not accusing Batman of being Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean?
It says Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Says Bruce Wayne, but like in a manner where it's like kind of passive aggressive. Yeah, I would say, where you're not sure. Like, are you being a dickhead or are you truly confused?
Right.
I love the modern aspect of it. How it's like he has like followers and he's like,
yeah,
what's up, YouTube?
Yeah. Hey, I just want to shout out my followers.
Want to shout you guys out. Thanks for joining our Patreon.
I got a couple new subs.
It's like
please rate, like,
completely
subscribe.
Completely buy it, because that is the fucking modern era. Like that would be the way that this would happen.
His dedicated fan base of like 500 people, like that are in on his movement. Ugh.
It was cool. Those little details, like the message boards, like you can buy the mask at like army surpluses
that was cool.
and shit.
Yeah,
super cool, man.
Very, very cool.
Like we're all gonna take rifles or whatever.
I love Paul Dano. The thing I love most about him is when he goes up into the AJ atmosphere, like when AJ laughs.
Yeah,
when he's like. Like when he has that really high screech, I'm like, I fucking love when he does that, man.
Yeah,
it's so buyable. It's so believable. Speaking of the sound of the movie, you have to go see this in a theater if you haven't, because of some of these moments. The Batmobile is such a an audio moment, but also when Batman's at the cell for the Riddler and he wants in, and when he's banging on the fucking
banging,
Jesus, dude, I've never heard anything like
really
that.
Really wakes
before.
you up if you're falling asleep at that point.
Which you might have been the first time, huh?
Gotta be honest.
It was a late night.
It's a late night. I saw it both times. I saw at the same time, 7:40, and you're not getting exactly. You're not getting out of there until 11.
Yep.
And which kind of brings me to like maybe a negative of the movie. I do think maybe it is a little long. I think they could cut maybe 15, 20 minutes out of this, to be honest. I don't want to say it, but I did feel the time. And like Dune, I didn't feel a damn thing. I was like, I could watch this movie. I could watch 3 more hours of that movie.
Right.
Once it ended.
Maybe because it was so dark.
Maybe.
It's working, and your Felix Grays have taken the blue light out of it.
Exactly.
Right.
And so there's nothing left. Like your brain's like, time for bed, right?
I don't know, man. Like I think maybe like the Selena Kyle, her dad being Falcone. That could have been
maybe,
like I didn't really need any of that. Like we don't need to know that. I don't know.
I did like John Turturro though.
I love John Turturro.
Man, that was great.
Like
he was almost perfect in that role.
That's what I'm saying.
I think so.
There's these actors that he has in this movie. It's just like, really, he's in this?
Fucking Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Gollum.
Oh my god.
From Lord of the Rings.
No kidding.
Another thing where it was like a little bit of a flaw to me, where it's like he's not in it that much, and I could have used a little bit more Alfred. I think maybe.
I agree with you
doesn't
there.
it? It's weird though. It feels there's not a good relationship between them yet.
Right, it's a little contentious.
It does feel strange, and so maybe that will build up. Maybe this series is bringing that relationship together.
Alfred getting hurt could
Yeah.
like spur that
Yeah.
more love for him.
And this is what's important, is that there's more to an origin story than when you're a kid and you were there and your parents were killed and the pearls went scattering.
And now you're Batman.
And they go scattering, and now you're Batman because you get scared of bats now. And and like there's more to an origin story than that. You know, maybe he didn't have a great relationship with Alfred. You know, maybe it was about him actually coming up, and this is a little bit different for the feel of it is it's not the League of Shadows Batman that we've known in the past potentially. It's the brought up by Alfred and kind of taught about the world of fighting and the rough and tumble. So I thought that was a really cool thing. But this is maybe more of an origin story than we actually realized, but I love how subtle it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you guys, you got to go see it. I don't know why you're listening to it if you haven't seen it, but maybe you are. But yeah, I just think it was great. I'm very excited for whatever will come next in this.
Yeah, same. I love the darkness. I love the detective aspect of it. And maybe they don't go more detective in the next one because it's the Riddler. You know, they did that already. But like, I don't care. I'm down for this Battinson for sure.
I'm going to make my final controversial statement for you since we're kind of wrapping up. I do believe that this is the Batman that is going to make the Dark Knight series look campy.
Yeah.
In the future.
Okay.
Wow.
I really do believe that.
Just at some point, a champ's always going to fall, isn't it?
Yep,
You know, at some point, somebody's going to come along and do something better.
Think about the way people thought about Keaton when they had Keaton,
You're right.
Clooney and
Kilmer.
Kilmer, thank you, my favorite. Think about that, like when we had all those, but people still relied on Keaton almost as the best, like the majority, right?
Sure.
This is what I think is going to, in the future, is going to make people believe or think of the Dark Knight series as more campy.
Okay.
You know what? And it's a weird thing too because I was thinking in this movie, there's a lot of the trailers are of Battinson unmasked. And I'm like,
Did you say Battinson? Is that the name?
I love it.
But is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Okay,
people are saying it's not
I'm
me.
in.
I didn't do that.
Battinson.
You see a lot of him unmasked in the trailers. Like, I don't want like another Bruce Wayne movie. You know, he's Batman a lot in this movie. He is dressed up as Batman, doing detective things, figuring out shit, beating ass a lot in this movie. And I'm like, that's fucking great. Like
He's
an actor
dedicated to his craft, man.
An actor doing like just covering half his face the whole time, especially being a beautiful man like Robert Pattinson is like that's a bold move.
And there's maybe some questions of Pattinson's like physical body, like was he really Batman? Like, do we believe? I know a lot of people don't believe him as this tough guy Batman, but I'm fully in. I dive right in, man, and like that from the minute I heard Something in the Way by Nirvana, I was like, oh, this is where we're going. We're going here.
We're going underneath the
bridge. We're going Kurt Cobain, emo Batman. Oh. It was a cool moment. Man.
I like might as well be Seattle.
I like Gothic Batman better than emo. But
well, I'm gonna say emo, but you're right. It's Kurt Cobain wasn't. He was the original emo before there was emo.
Yeah.
Can we call that? How about grunge emo?
That's fine.
Or no, grunge Batman.
Grunge Batman.
Grunge Batman.
Thank you.
Real grunge.
Yeah, man.
Pearl Jam.
Well, is that all? Pearl Jam? Yeah, I love Pearl Jam. Is that all you guys got to say about this?
Man,
I think so, man. I think I got to say everything I needed to say about it at this point. So.
We'll go on. Let's make a promise to ourselves that we'll go on opening night of the newest Batman that comes out.
I like
definitely.
That.
Make a promise to ourselves.
Yeah,
I know I got something. I'm busy that night, but I can move it around.
I'll shift it.
I'll shift my appointment around.
Thanks.
Well,
I got some at 7, but
if you're new to this podcast, we really hope you'll check out some of our classic movie reviews. Maybe start on the old Batman 1989. That's a good one to start on.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you're here, as always, we love you. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a couple days with we are doing Tom Cruise's Cocktail.
Oh yeah,
it's a part of our I've never seen because
right.
Shaun and AJ have never seen it, and I'm going to tell them how much I love it, and we're going to see if they can jump on board.
I cannot.
It's going to be a good one.
All right, we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Please stay in touch with us by following on all of our social media platforms at Confused Breakfast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Confused Be Fast on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review on the podcast platform of your choice right now.
Also, we have merch. You know you want to rep the Confused Breakfast in public. Mugs, stickers, shirts, all kinds of goodies. Go to confusedbreakfast.com for a direct link.
And don't forget about our voicemail number, 319-804-9596. Links to everything you could ever need from us are in the show notes or at confusedbreakfast.com. This includes a way to follow all of us individually in our personal projects that we want you to check out. Mission of the day, tell your friends about us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.